is Ralia Ali, who will be hosting the session. So before further ado, I just want to introduce the SDG of the month, where we have 3 advocates of gender equality with us. That is gender equality, SDG number 5 being the SDG of the month of March. So let me give everyone an opportunity to say hi to the team, and then we'll continue. Nzisa, would you want to start?
Hi everyone, my name is Carola from Mombasa, and I'm the leader of Institute 5. Thank you.
Thank you, Nzisa. That is one of our guests who is joining us from Mombasa, Kenya, a gender equality advocate. Mr. Olungata, would you want to say hi?
Yes, hi, this is Watono Lungata. I'm joining in from Nairobi, Kenya, SDG number 5 advocate.
Thank you, Mr. Olungata. Faith, as we wait for Faith to join us, let me give opportunity Lydia to say hi to the rest of the team. Lydia? Okay. Thank you, our guests. Yes, Lydia, we can't hear you. Kindly unmute yourself.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining this meeting from. My name is Lydia Ntuku. I am joining in because this is my mission, SDG, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much, Global Health Forum, for hosting us. And we are really looking forward to have an engaging meeting. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you very much.
Locked from Kwale, Kenya.
Okay. Lydia from Kwale, Wachon from Nairobi, Nzisa from Mombasa, Ralia from Nairobi. Faith is in the house now. Faith, say hi to the rest of the team, and we'll be able to continue with our session today. Faith, come on the mic and say hi.
Hi everyone, my name is Faith Muli from Kenya. I am an advocate for gender equality, SGD 5. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Faith. I believe after our brief introduction, everybody is glad to be here. I'm superbly energized for this session. I like my sessions active, engaging, so I hope you'll participate with emojis, with coming on the mic and participating live. That will be wonderful. So without further ado, I want us to know that, as said earlier, that this month, March, is the month of SDG number 5. As we all know, SDG number 5 is that of gender equality, and in the words of the UN captions, I can say gender equality is not just a goal; it's rather a foundation of a fair and peaceful and sustainable world that we all want to have. Maybe just to put across something that is of gender equality and remarkable that has happened in the globe in the month of March is the Commission on the Status of Women that happened, and it came with a momentum that was meant to build new commitments under the Pact for the Future that is aimed to accelerate women's empowerment at all levels. When we talk about gender equality, I believe many times we only focus on the segment of women and girl child, but the gender itself is an aspect that is touching on both genders, that is men and women. So what I want to request is, as we go on throughout the discussion in this session, let's use a broader lens to look at gender. Of course, the one that is highly looked at in terms of wanting to be enhanced is that one of women, case, and girl child. because for many decades, this team has been left behind when it comes to development. But again, as we are trying to make them come up and be at par with the other gender, let's not leave the upcoming generation part of the other gender. When I say the other gender, I mean men. So thank you very much. I'd like to propel this discussion in form of question to each one of our guests so that you'll be able to give us from your own perspective, from your own work experience and lived experience, maybe what you think about this thing. So maybe the first question I wanted to go to Ms. Nzinsa. Maybe tell us what are the major challenges that you encounter in your community, especially as the root causes that bring about gender inequality, looking at now, and tell us maybe what are the efforts that are in place that you are participating in to bring about equality where there have been an existence of this inequality. Ms. Zinsa?
Oh, hi.
Hi. Go ahead.
Hello.
Can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello. Ah, okay. I think I lost you earlier when you asked the challenges of gender inequality. You asked the challenges, or you asked the things I am doing about gender inequality in the community I come from.
Okay, the question is layered in a way that I requested for you to tell us some of the major challenges that you encounter, as well as the solutions that you are participating in to bring about solving these issues.
Okay. Oh, one of the challenges we face, I know of here in Mombasa, we face in terms of gender inequality is when girls don't have the same opportunities as boys, and that means accessing education. So that is one that I know of. And another one that I know of is lack of enough mentorship for the young girls here in Mombasa. And what I'm currently doing is advocating for change in school, especially around the community I live in, and to support women empowerment initiatives by offering mentorship services to young girls. And another thing I do is supporting girls who have startups business. I support them by linking them to organization that can support their startup businesses. So yeah, that is what I do.
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate Nzinsa for the good work that she's doing. Apart from identifying for us that some of the challenges her community faces is in terms of things like access to education and overall opportunity access for girl child, and what she's doing is empowering this girl child through mentorship as well as other activities that mentor women and community. So thank you very much. Maybe just to go to the next speaker or the next guest, Mr. Olungata, this is for you. As a young advocate in your very own community, doing undertaking different roles to bring about gender equality, tell us what kind of support do you need to deliver solutions that you are currently engaged in?
As a young advocate, what I do and the resources required. Yes, within our community, especially, I'll talk on how I'm engaging more male to be part of the gender equality journey. Currently, within my community, I'm doing more of male conversation and male engagement in different aspects of the sector. As much as maybe we can be having more organizations supporting the girl child on matters gender equality, I also bring the question on how we can also engage men. And now you see, having more men in this conversation, it's kind of it's tricky because men feel that it's like you are getting the power out of them. But the main thing is it's not about getting the power out of them. It's having or bringing the power balance within ourselves. The power within. Yes, you'll remain to be the man, but again, you need to be the part of this journey. You need to be speaking it out. Like, let's have more men speak out about what they're going through. Not only having the girls doing it and having more organizations supporting the girl child or the voice of the girls. We also need to hear the voice of men doing this. And the resources that maybe currently we need more of community engagement on men, because you're seeing young men having the previous notion, like you see that man should not cry. A man should just deal with the issues as it is. Even currently, even at our homes, you'll find a young boy falls down. Daddy we ni mwanaume, simama. So you see that thing, the boy will, yes, he will come up with that masculinity thing. Yes, I'm a man. I do not need to cry. If I fell down, I need to stand on my own. So to get that notion out of it, that's what we need. We need more community and engagement on men to understand the matters gender equality is not about getting the power out of them. It's having them understanding that we need to have the power balance to achieve the mission together. Basically, that's what we need for now. We need to have more and more community awareness on men at the grassroots levels to ensure that they get to understand they need to be part of this as a journey as a whole.
Thank you, Mr. Watton. I think out of what he has given as a solution that he's engaged in, as well as some of the things that he needs, there's something I was able to capture. He says men are socialized, or boys are socialized in a way that they are supposed to be hardened, that they are given the notions from a young age that men are supposed to cry, not to reach out. So in a way, they're not able to articulate the challenges they are facing, including even when at the times when they miss out in opportunities. So what he's saying is this gender discussion, as well as gender empowerment missions, should not only be something that is meant for women and girl child, men and boy child should also be involved. And I feel, or rather, like, as one among the many gender advocates in the societies, that's very true. When we talk about the gender is just a social construct that is all about the roles, the behaviors, and the expectations that we as a society have created, that we expect from the men or the women or the boy and the girl child. So I believe these expectations are some of the things that, as he has placed it out there, it's the thing that contributes to the factors that curtails one from the opportunity, or one from speaking out even if they are undergoing an issue. What he needs as far as his solution and what he's engaged in is more of advocacy and more of engagement of men and bullshit. I think in a way it's also something that he's calling the rest of us as gender advocates to do. Maybe now to go to our next guest, Faith Muli. I want us to reverse again, because we all come from different communities, different areas within Kenya. Maybe you tell us simply some of the major challenges that your community faces, as well as the solutions that you feel are the best suited for this particular area when it comes to gender equality and equity issues. Faith?
Hi again. Uh, one of the challenges that our girls, I'll focus on the girl child, face in our community is the lack of enough education. We find that most of our people in the community believe that a girl's place is in the kitchen. A girl's place is to get married and to take care of the family, and that makes it hard for a girl child to go to school, finish her studies, and accomplish her dreams. Also, I'll tackle the early marriages. The girl child is forced. I don't want to use the word forced, but I lack, by the lack of a better word, the girl child is forced to get married in an early age, and that endangers her health, her life, because once a small child, a small girl below 18, below 20, I think as much as we say adulthood start at 18, I still believe that a girl, a child who is a person who is 18 is not fully developed. So when a girl is forced to get married at that age, I see it as inequality, because that child will not be able to complete her studies. She will not be able to accomplish her dreams. Her life will not be hers. Her life will be on another person's hands. So yeah, that is the challenge that is facing our community: the lack of better education for a girl child.
Thank you. And maybe just to add on to the same, tell us the part of maybe the solution that you are involved in when it comes to these challenges. You mentioned early marriages, you mentioned other norms that curtails the opportunities of a girl child. So tell us, maybe as a gender advocate in your community, what are the solutions that you are currently participating in and you feel are the best solutions when it comes to these challenges?
Mostly it's educating young girls and young women on their rights to choose what they want, on their rights to basic needs education, all that. And also educating them and empowering them to know that they matter, and they have the right to choose whatever they want in their life. They don't have to follow like what the parents or what the community is expecting them to be. So basically, it's creating awareness and educating them.
Thank you, Faith. Maybe Faith, one of the things that she's doing is bringing about education and empowering these girls to understand that they actually have choices to make. There are opportunities that exist and they need to pursue their dreams. I have a question to all of us here. Mr. Watton, you can come. Zisa, you can come. Lydia, you can come on the mic, and even Faith, if you have an answer to that. By the fact that you said educating this girl child, mentoring them and empowering them is the solution. What about the society now, maybe the people behind them, the family? Who are they now, the push factors when it comes to making them get married faster, making them leave school earlier, making them become a contributing factor for them to miss out on these opportunities, or even maybe the structural barriers that exist within the normal structures that we have in terms of the developmental structures, both economic, social, and political. Anybody who wants to say something on that? Okay. in my culture they say silence means satisfaction.
Yes,
So,
I can say something.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you very much for this opportunity again and for the question that you have just asked. You see, when we speak about gender equality, the question is, what is the cause of the gender equality? You know, and if we are able to answer that question, whereby we didn't just wake up one day and we are talking about injustice in gender, we are talking about things that are happening in our own families. We are talking about things that are happening in the society, the systematic. What is the role of culture? What is the role of family? What is the role of an individual? And therefore, as a gender advocate, mostly I work with grassroots organizations at different counties, and one major role on addressing that, ensuring that there is systematic support. There is also, yes, there is systematic support, ensuring that every gender has, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, I thought you're saying that you're not hearing. Yes, I'm saying that for us to be able to fully address the gender equality issue, we are not only focusing on one side empowerment. Here we are talking about what is my role in the family. Does my daughter understand her role? Does my son understand the role? If For those who are married, we're also talking about partners. What is their role in ensuring that there is gender equality? And I am glad to share some of the best practices across different projects that I do support, because our main focus here is on girl child, but we also understand that a girl cannot thrive when the family and the society does not understand why she has to be supported. She belongs into a family, she belongs into a society, she belongs into a nation. And therefore, bringing working with men as allies, and as well as ensuring those have partners, we are able to bring them together to really help them understand why having conducive environment is very important, as well as ensuring that we go further to talk with the government representative and also other partners to just ensure that the system is getting conducive for everyone to thrive, you know. Yeah. And as they say, one of the major from the experience that I have, major cause of gender equality will really, and speaking from Kwale County, I'll say about deep cultural rooted stereotypes that still exist. That brings imbalance. I have been born and raised knowing that this is women's place, this is men's place. And therefore, if we don't retrain, because it all starts with mindset, and that's why mentorship is very important aspect when it comes to gender equality. If we don't retrain that, uh, um, communicate the importance of why we have to look to have different perspective on the current situations, because for us to achieve this, we need to just ensure that everyone is involved, everyone has a role, because the gender equality goal that we have will not be achieved if we sit behind as spectators. Like, this is not, we are all of us, we are saying this is not my role. Everybody who is talking about gender equality, we want to understand what is your role, because my role as leader, I will not go to community to speak about gender equality if in my house I'm not speaking about it. If my neighbors, I hear them having talking about these things that are contributing to gender equality, and I am just standing behind. You know, it has to start with where you are, where you live, in your own house, in your neighborhood, so that you can move gradually to the national level. So even for the policies that are there, they will only be effective if all of us are able to implement from where we live. If all of us were role models, I don't think that we'll have gender equality. We'll be talking
That is
about
very
so thank you. I'm back to you. So system is there, but culture, as long as the culture exists, and we cannot do away with culture, we have to preserve it. We just have a lot to work on, and that's why we are not pushing culture. We are saying, how well can we ensure there's positive change within families? Because a healthy family means a healthy community, a healthy nation. So what is my role? So as I finish, I would ask all of us to be role models wherever they are. I am not preaching for girls. I am not preaching for a boy child. The other day, my daughter, friends, who is son, my 4-year daughter has a friend who is a son. The boy falls down, and my daughter is like, analia nani boy, you know? And I don't know where that came from. And you see, for 4 years old, I'm still wondering, how do I communicate to her that it's okay? She does not understand. She just learned there is a boy and there is a girl. So at what point now do we start talking about it's okay for everybody to cry, you know? Because
That's
for us,
wonderful. So maybe
yes,
just to cut you short, Lydia,
yes,
that's a lot to unpack. I know the issues is going on and going on, but one thing or two, let me just summarize it in 2 ways. One thing that really stood out for me of the two segments that you just gave is that the system are there, the policies are there, but now the part of accountability is where we are lagging behind. So she is just saying, you and I are the people who make the community. You and I are the ones who are supposed to be responsible and accountable at a personal level, and then we go influencing from family level, community, then to the wider part of the bigger part of the nation. So that's wonderfully placed. And maybe somebody else would want to tell us, we did say the fact that gender equality is something that needs to be done at different levels, and we said from what Muli says, what we are building on. She says empowerment of girl child and mentorship is important, but we are asking, is it only to them? There are other causing factors of this inequality. We mentioned things like society. Lydia unpacked a lot about our societal norms, cultural norms that are there to enforce these, especially when it comes to the socialization of how we are socialized. In a way, a small child grows up knowing that even a boy child, despite the fact that maybe they are of the same age, he's not supposed to cry, like the example she gave. But those are just the some of the contributing factors, but we want to look at the causes and start from treating the causes as we go up, because if we only look at the effects, we will not be able to prevent it or even maybe do away with the inequality that exists along gender lines. Who maybe have a different opinion or something to add on what Lydia just gave us? This Mr. Olungata, Faith, anybody can come on the mic.
So maybe I can just give my input
Sure,
before
go ahead.
to evaporate. So among the push factors that we have that I think leads to these matters, gender equality, it starts from the family setup, just as Lydia said, because the moment I grow knowing that these particular activities are meant for this specific gender, then that's the root cause for everything. So what we need to do is to encourage and educate our communities and our generations that yes, we are for different genders, but there are those roles that we need to share and do it together as a family, as a community or as a home. Because it's sometimes you may ask, you might be in a discussion with men, you ask the men, more so married men, asking them like, who amongst us made their bed today? You see, so such a question when you ask in a conversation where you're having more men, mostly married men, you'll find a man will just tell you, how can I make my bed and I have my wife? You see? And then again, you'll come in a conversation with the girls. You're having a conversation with the girls. How many of you made their bed today? They'll say, about all of them will say, yes, we did it. Because they feel it's part of their duties or their roles. Now, when a man comes in or steps out and says that I made my bed today, other men will look at him like, aye, how? And you have a wife, Aji. So you see, we need to educate and let every person know that yes, we have the gender roles, but can we support each other? Making my bed will not make me more less of being a man. I'll still be the man of the house. But doing that is supporting. I'm supporting within the genders of our homes. Another example is you see, like, say if a man loses his job, then the wife steps in as the provider for the house. For how long will our ladies support this family? She'll do it 1 or 2 months. The third month, she'll be saying that I've been the one paying the rent. You get? So that's another psycho torture to the man when he hears that. But how can we do it and see now having these ladies doing it and saying it's part of me, it's part of our family, it's my family, I'm doing it for it. Like you do it because it's part of you, not because you're saying it's the role for that particular person. So these are some of the push factors that leads to this different form of violence around the different form of violence that will be hindrance or can hinder us achieving the gender equality mission that we want. So we need just to ensure that we curb the little norms, the cultural norms. I know our cultures, we cannot live it, as Lydia has said it, but we have some of the behaviors within our cultures that even you yourself, when you look at it, you see, no, this is violating someone's rights. We need to change it. So it's just working closely with the policymakers to ensure that this thing is done. Like recently, I've been in the Global Democracy Coalition Forum, and matters gender equality, it cuts across. And we also have the economic violence or the economic sabotage that is coming amongst the youth or the women or the small marginalized communities within our systems, within our governments, or let's say within a specific organization or institution. Do we have specific tenders or specific activities for specific persons? Like you find that like this tender, no, she's a lady, we cannot give her this tender. This tender belongs to men. Or she's a man, no, this tender needs to be given to a lady because she'll do it much better than a man. You see, those are the things that we need maybe to look at it when it comes now to the policymakers or the policies that are running our institutions. How can we also incorporate and have matters gender equality being part of it? Gender equality is not just the violence that we're having around here. We also have the system equalities that are happening. People don't look at that. We are looking at the physical and the homestead things. But what about the within our institutions? Do we have such things happening? So if we have them, then we as the change advocates, the change agents on matters gender equality, do we speak about them in these forums, or we just go listening and it's done? Because the moment you start talking about, let's say, matters they call it tenderpreneurship. This person has a tender, she or he will not win that tender because she is a lady, because he is a man. But the tender information, the tender or the tender document, the services are, let's say, they'll favor more, the services are for women. I don't know if if you're getting me.
Yes, I am getting. Maybe just to
So it's applying to
summarize.
toiletries. Person,
Button, can
yeah,
you
so
hear
just
me?
to summarize, we need
Yeah.
to yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Just
maybe
give
to summarize
a
on it,
concluding statement and then we can move on.
yeah, so for our closing statement is, let's also speak on the policies that and the institutions that we are having to ensure that we also curb the gap for matters gender equality and equalities within our institutions, because it's something that people don't talk about it. Yes, that is what I can say for now.
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate Watson for his wonderful debunking about the issues that we are facing, as well as how best we can go about this. He mentioned policies being part of these things, and a majority of the things are embedded in structure ways, where we have even institution where he gave examples of tenderpreneur, where some of these things are segregated in terms of gender lines. So I believe it is something that we as a nation needs to work on. Today in the morning, I was part of a certain women forum where we were talking matters gender equity, matters sustainable development and involvement of women. So what we were looking at was a certain aspect. One of the panel discussion I attended was dubbed the cost of silence. So I want us to look at this. We mentioned some of the things, some of the problems that involved challenges that we are facing, being culturally stemmed, societal ascription, structure that we have in places that are bringing about these inequalities. What those ladies summarized was that we do have very good policies when it comes to all these matters, gender equality and gender equity, gender parity, so many things. But when it comes to implementation is where there's gap. When it comes to accountability is where there is gap. So maybe just to ask, all of us here are gender advocate, gender equality advocate. Maybe along your line of working with different communities, what are other gaps that you found, and maybe what can you prescribe, let's say you prescribe or think should be the best means of us getting out of these challenges that comes alongside what we already have. We have a new person in the house. Natalie, you're welcome. Your contribution is highly appreciated. Lydia is typing to us via text. As I look at her chat, anybody in Zinsa, would you want to come on the mic and tell us something? Lydia says she agrees systemic inequalities plays major role. Being a role model also within the society would help a lot to achieve gender equality. Change begins with us. She also says there are beautiful policies, but execution is where there is main gap. But I want to say something. You and I, who are in these gender equity roles, like the change agents or the champions for gender equality, are the ones who are actually become the service providers when it comes to matters policy implementation. So maybe does it mean that you and I are the ones who have maybe now a challenge of fulfilling the promises that are within the policies, or where is the main gap? Faith?
I would say lack of awareness and advocacy, because honestly, in our community nowadays, not everyone knows what gender equality is. They believe that gender inequality is the normal. It's a normal thing. Like you see, when for example, for example, a girl walking and passing like boda riders, and they are like some rainbow young woman, and they are playing with her. People don't see that as a problem. They see it as normal. They call it normal. So that is where awareness and advocacy would come in. educating people on what gender equality is and advocating for gender equality would play a big part. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Let's appreciate Faith for her wonderful contribution. She says it should narrow down to people even knowing about the existence of these maybe policies and the fact that there is education that is required for the community, because maybe many are not even aware that there are these things, and having normalized some of these things that demean the dignity of one gender over the other is where the gap is. So I believe I concur with her on that sentiment, because working with the community directly, especially at the grassroots levels, will inform you that actually society have normalized things in a way that even when one person's rights are infringed, they are not even aware. So there's that need for education. And in the line of our advocacy, we should also major on bringing about education to the society, to know about their rights, to know about the policies that exist, and when they encounter maybe segregation or discrimination along gender lines, there are pathways that are in place through the policies and legislations that we have, and they can get the rightful assistance the right way. Nzisa, do you want to tell us something? Okay, Lydia says there is knowledge gap about existing policies, more or less the same thing that we were saying. Mzisa, do you want to add something? Okay. Maybe now, because we are coming to the end of the segment,
sorry,
I would
allow me to jump in because Zisa is not there. So
kindly use the minutes, because we are almost coming to the end. I would like to give everyone a moment to give their parting shot.
Another gap that I think is really causing us is there's no coordination of the gender equality activities that are taking place. So if we are to strengthen that and ensure that we all know who is doing what, that is also part of accountability. Yeah, 1 minute.
Thank you. It's even shorter than a minute. So Lydia just enhanced that lack of synergy within the efforts of those gender advocates. Everybody is doing their own thing, so there is no synergy between all the advocates, correlations, or even working together, things like that. So what I'm saying is, many times you would realize that we capitalize on partnership, we capitalize on that, but the moment you realize that you are doing the same thing, you synergize your efforts, where maybe you are working in Nairobi County, Watson is doing this, Ralia is doing that. Maybe we coordinate in a way that our data and everything, we can I say pile it together, so that at the end of the day, the work Watson does and the work Ralia does is amalgamated in a way that we get one picture of the whole of Nairobi area and the whole of maybe Kwale area from somebody else, because now everybody's effort is done differently, and there's that lack of synergy when it comes to doing that. Now, maybe just to conclude, I'd want to give everybody an opportunity to give us their parting shot. Take as little as maybe 1 minute or 1.5 minutes each. Faith?
So let me
Okay.
let me come in. Yes, I guess my parting shot and what you said, actually, for the organizations or institutions working on matters gender equality or gender issues, we just need to have a coalition or coming together as an umbrella, so that we get to know and understand which organization is doing which activity in line to achieve the gender equality thing. Because when different persons are doing different things, it's like it's scattered. Everyone is doing it because of funding. I've got this fund to do this. He'll do, or the organization will do what they want. And that will continue creating the gaps that we're having there. My last words for this is we also need to strengthen our grassroots information on matters gender equalities and on matters gender issues. If we do it from the ground, then we'll have capped the gap.
Thank you. That's wonderfully placed. Maybe before I let you go, give us now from the voice of Wharton Alongata, a youth who is a gender advocate. Give us one call to action in maybe one statement to the rest of the youth who will be watching this.
Women, not of women too. It benefits everyone. That means by combining laws, education, economic empowerment, and mindset change, society can create opportunity for all of us. My call to action to the young people and everyone that is watching. One, as young people, we are the now, and we should speak about, we should call out gender inequality issues. And also, we should educate ourselves more and others about gender inequality. And we should use our voice on social media to spread awareness and inspire change, because we are a generation of social media. And I think, yeah, and also challenge harmful stereotypes behavior around our society. Because we are the society.
Thank you very much.
We can be making.
I think I lost you somewhere. I can't hear you well.
The policies everywhere, every now and then, but if we are not the society, then gender equality cannot be achieved. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Of all the things that she said, is the last one is the one that's closer to my heart. She says to the young people, use your voice, even if maybe sometimes resources and maybe positions and all this may lack. Your voice is a tool, your voice is an influence, and you can use it to educate yourself, you can use it to educate others, and you can bring about change through your voice. Thank you, Nzisa. Let's go to Faith now, one more minute. Faith, as we conclude.
What I'd like to say is that let's not be silent. Let's not ignore. Let's not normalize the silence, the ignorance. Once one does something, it's like a child. Olungata said, samaki, that phrase, that one. Like unakunja angali mbichi. I don't know. But yeah, let's not normalize being silent when you can obviously see that something somewhere is wrong. Let's talk, let's speak up, and yeah, let's know that if we speak, someone somewhere might be in need and might get the help that they need or support, or they might even feel seen. And that's it.
Thank you, thank you. I think maybe appreciate all of you for having found time and be part of this wonderful discussion. I know we have a lot to unpack and the time may have been limited. I want us to leave here with a quote from me. I remember this quote from all the back in the time when I was in primary school. We used to share it with a friend. It was all about curiosity, but I think it is very applicable in life. It says, trust no one, question everything, and get a clue. Even if today I come and tell you something, some information about gender equality, don't get satisfied with what Ralia says. Go ahead and question that, and then find a clue for yourself so that you'll be able to push ahead and so on and so forth. So mine is just to encourage all of us to keep the good work we are doing, and then to keep the talk going, and then to do a lot of action as the talk is also there. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you finding time to show up as well as you contributing. I will leave you with lots of flowers and lots of hearts for that wonderful work. So thank you.